of WCTC.
No time to call Jersey Central? Join the conversation online and be a part of WCTC's real-time talk. Like 1450 WCTC on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at 1450 WCTC. Jersey Central with Bert Barron.
Think we could listen to the radio or something?
On the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
808, it's hour number 3 of Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. It's Bert Barron. Welcome back inside the Forge Jeweler Studio. It's great to have you with us. Cloudy, 41. We got some wind whipping up today, and depending upon where you are, you could see flooding. You could see some accumulating snow. Your full forecast coming up at 8:15, and Bernie Viter will have a traffic update for us at that time as well. A very important symposium happening tomorrow in Red Bank. It is called A Conversation About Childhood Vaccination, and it's being presented by a group called Fearless Parents. And joining me now on the Jersey Central Newsmaker Hotline to talk about some of the things that will be discussed at this symposium, let's welcome in Louise Habakus, who was with us here this morning to give us some information on this event that is happening. Hey, Louise, it is Bert Barron. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, Bert. Good morning.
Talk about what Fearless Parent is all about and why this symposium was put together.
So Fearless Parent is a group of parents and professionals that are trying to facilitate a dialogue. We want to allow the conversation about children's health. We want to keep everyone safe. We're not crazy. We're not hysterical. We're actually very evidence-based. But we're looking to facilitate a discussion, really to allow something that's not being allowed to happen.
And it seems like this is a dialogue that's really ramped up in recent years, Louise, where not too many people talked about this. It was like you got your kids vaccinated, and that's the way it was, and you didn't give it a second thought. But it seems like anytime you can empower parents and talk about really what's going on out there, giving parents an opportunity to make their own decisions for vaccinations is important, right?
That's absolutely what we believe. I think that, people want to say, ideologically, you're anti-vaccine. There are a lot of parents who are coming forward and saying, listen, I vaccinated my children. I'm not anti-vaccine, but something happened, right? A direct personal experience. And they find out that there's something called a vaccine injury compensation plan, that actually injuries do happen. It's something that's not discussed very much, so people don't think it happens very often. But when you actually put the word out, you find out that it's actually happening more often than we realize. And the injuries are very severe, and it can include anaphylaxis, paralysis, and even death.
Wow. Is a recourse available for parents, Louise? I mean, can you hold vaccine makers and doctors accountable for this sort of stuff?
So this is some of the challenge, right? In 1986, Congress passed an act saying that basically pharma and doctors have immunity, legal immunity. They can't be sued for any death or injury caused by vaccines on the recommended schedule. And Bert, what that served to do was actually ramp up the number of vaccines that came on the schedule. So there are more shots today given than I got and you got, and even in the last 25 years, it's been a threefold increase. So, it's rational behavior. You can understand that, right? I mean, I hail from corporate America. I used to run marketing for 2 very large marketing firms on Wall Street, and, corporations are rational. So I think parents are not saying, listen, we want to get rid of all vaccines. What they're saying is there's risk on both sides. Even the government says this, right? That's why there's an injury compensation program.
Right.
And, the Merck manual, the largest medical textbook, the oldest in the country, says you can get sick and die from either the disease or the vaccine. People need to know that.
Yeah, and I think what we want at the end of the day, Louise, is healthy kids being raised in a healthy society, but having that choice and empowering the parents to decide what's best is really key. That's really an important thing. You've got some pretty high-profile people who are appearing at this event tomorrow night. You want to mention who's going to be appearing?
Absolutely. So our keynote speaker is Robert F. Kennedy, Jr., the environmental crusader who has been looking a lot at mercury. And in particular, he's looking and saying, well, why is this used in vaccines, right? It's not just used as an ingredient, as a preservative, but it's also used in the manufacturing process. And so when you're talking about parts per billion that can be toxic, even residua in the vaccines can be a concern. He's, what I really like about this bird is that this is a bipartisan issue. I think people try to make this about one side or the other. We're all on the same side when it comes to children, right? So, I really love that we have prominent people coming out, Democrats, Republicans, saying, let's take a closer look at this.
Yeah, this doesn't need to be politicized, Louise. I agree completely. So
Exactly.
this event will happen at the Two River Theater in Red Bank beginning at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. In addition to Robert F. Kennedy, Esquire, you've got people from the medical field who will be there. And just sort of like just a way to kind of get information out to people, it seems like.
That's right.
Public attendees can ask questions and be a part of a discussion.
100%. It is a conversation. It's got to go both ways.
Excellent stuff. Now, I see here that it's sold out. Is there any way someone could still get involved with this? Or maybe there's a waiting list that people can get on the event of a cancellation. Is that possible?
So we do have a standby list. We're
Okay.
urging people to come early and, get on that list. But we're going to be doing other events because we sold out 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
In a community theater, 400 people, never had an event this big in its history. And, Bert, that tells me parents really want this.
Yeah, this is growing. This is definitely growing. That's which it's good to have the discussion and have the dialogue. And when you can arm parents, Louise, with information, I think that's the most valuable thing that a parent could have when it comes to keeping their kids safe and healthy. Make sure you have the facts, have the information, and make the decision that's best for you. I had every vaccine under the sun growing up. Maybe you did as well. But you know what? It's important that parents need to know what's going on.
Absolutely. It's I think that this idea of one size fits all medicine is outdated, and intelligent medicine, what we're looking at in terms of genomics and trying to customize. We are informed by things like family history and environmental issues. We're different. We're not all the same, and we shouldn't all get the same thing as a matter of standard policy.
Yeah, you're right. Louise, where can someone get some more information, at least about Fearless Parent?
Fearlessparent.org is our website. We're on Facebook and Twitter, Fearless Parent Media, and we're really active in the cyberspace. We have a blog, we have a podcast, and we're doing a lot more events too.
Excellent. I appreciate the time this morning. Good luck with everything tomorrow night, and keep us posted on future events like this, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a great day.
Thank you. You as well. All right, my guest on the Jersey